I think having that, or knowing the feeling of having a court named after you is, you have that great inward feeling, something you never dreamed of. I didn't go into coaching to have things named after me, but I've been very fortunate and very blessed. And so, when I've received so many awards, and I don't deserve any of them. I think my players and my coaching staff, and of course the fans, are the real winners. I enjoy what I had to do because all I had to do was worry about winning. So it was a lot of fun thinking about when I go into my Hall of Fame room, I call it, and see all the things that I was able to accomplish, and to have the climax of when you think it's all over, then something else happens and you get another award. So this one is probably the final and the ultimate. I can see when they were telling me about it, I could just picture myself with Frank Broyles and myself and Mr. Bud Walton. I remember going up there asking them for $1 million to help me get 1,000 seats into Barnhill. And when he said, "No, we need a new place," and of course Frank said, "That costs a lot of money." So, "Well, you got a place to build it?" He said, "Yes." And right then he said, "Well, go build it. We'll pay for it." So I knew then that basketball has arrived, because I think Eddie had done a great job with Barnhill, but we had outgrown it. We had moved into the Southeast Conference. We had a hell of a lot tougher schedules, and you needed a great place to play. And now that place that we needed so much bears my name, and that name is something that I'm very proud of, and I want my grandkids and my great-grandkids to, when they look at the floor, they can say their granddad made a difference.
Thanks, Coach. You got a question? We've got a couple months.
Profe, ¿qué significa el que le hayan nombrado la duela hoy a su nombre primero? Y si su hija estuviera aquí, ¿cómo se sintiera ella de este reconocimiento?
He was asking me, and I'll tell him in Spanish, he was asking me if my daughter was here, that was the last part, how you think she would feel. Mejor. Ella era una mujer que quería la básquetbol más que todos en el mundo. Ella quiero yo a ganar todos los juegos. Si no gana, ella lloró. Pues entonces yo no llora mucho, porque nosotros ganamos muchos juegos. Y para mí, yo creo que para mí me trae muy feliz a mi corazón, con mi esposa, con mi abuelita, los nietos, y todos. So, for those reasons, es una gran para mí.
Y la última, ¿qué significa para la gente del Paso y para los entrenadores de color este reconocimiento?
The question was what does it mean to El Paso, me being named something way out here. El Paso is my home, that most of you know, and I'm going to answer most of it in English. And it makes me so proud, because one of my players from El Paso in 1972, class of 72, brought me some stuff from my old alma mater, where just only maybe 2 or 3 years ago they changed the name of the schools to the gym to Nolan Richardson's gymnasium. But that's only one. There were so many things in El Paso that's named after me: recreations, middle schools, highway kind of deal, the biggest one out there. I mean, it's big. I'm pretty big out there. I didn't live. I've lived here longer than I've ever lived anywhere in my life, and that's over 35 years out here. So I'm sure they're so proud because I'm a Hall of Famer. I've got 13 of them. So you name a Hall of Fame, I'm in it. So I'm very, it's a blessing. I never dreamed that the little guy from El Paso, coaching 13 years, would ever have the things happen to him. And that's probably the good thing, that I didn't go into the game that it was going to do something for me. The only thing, as I told the guy outside there, and the only thing that was very important to me, and it had to be, is that my grandmother told me that it is not about me. She says, you can open doors. You have it's something about you. She always said I was special. She said, something about you, you're going to open doors for people. And once you start thinking about yourself, it's over. So what she was preparing me for as we grew older is that I wasn't going to be able to be treated like everybody else. I wasn't going to get jobs that other guys could get. I'm not going to be able to do these things. But if you ever get there, then you got to make it count. Because if you don't make it count, your kids will not be able to follow you. And so I thought that she was talking about me having kids later on, and they were mine, and because I didn't make it. But that's not what she was talking about. She was talking about the African-American kid. Because we weren't judged individually like we should have been. In other words, if I do something wrong, I should be judged for that. Don't let the next guy behind me be judged because of what I did. But it works the other way. If I do good, they say, God almighty, they got a black kid over there can really coach and get players. We got to get one. Or this guy can really run the football. We got to get one. Or you can't play quarterback, but all of a sudden you can play quarter. You got to get one. That's how it goes. We got to get one. And that's why I say my grandmother was way ahead of her time. She told me this, and I always remembered. So she said, you're going to be in rooms, you'll be the only guy. Then when I was in high school, I was the only high school coach in the state of Texas at a mixed school. So I was first at anything we almost did. So it became a habit for me. And that's what she said, create a habit. And so that's who I am. And I appreciate the fact that I've been recognized for what I've done. Probably I didn't care about it when I was going through it. I mean, all the plaques and trophies and all that, they used to be packed in a box. And I decided one day, let's get this out of here. And I couldn't believe what I had accomplished. Because sometimes I never saw it.
Nick?
What does it mean to have Mike Anderson and so many former players come?
Oh, that Mike's just like my son. I mean, I had him ever since he was 19 or 20 years of age. And that's why I said Mike was my point guard at Tulsa. Mike has been in part of everything we've done. For example, we won the National Junior College Championship, but who did we play? Mike Anderson's team. We won the NIT. Mike was on my team. We win the national championship. Mike was here as my assistant. So he been a part of the family that anytime a team, a player that I would have, he becomes a part of my family. That's life. You have to do life with me then. But Mike was one of those guys that was with me 22 years altogether. And to have the thing that I enjoyed the most is that how the fan appreciated him when he came out and they announced it, that he was coming out. Because you will never find anyone as genuine. I mean, sometimes I wish I could have been like him, but we all are who we are. And that's what I told him. You be you, and I'll be me. You'll make people like you, and I'll make people hate me. That's how I work. You know, as a coach, you're the good cop, I'm the bad cop. I'm always the bad guy. But that's who I am. I mean, when I play you, you were my enemy. When you was over with, then you could be my friend. When I played my assistant coaches, I wanted to beat their ass just as bad as I wanted to beat anybody else's. That's old Granny. She would say, you take a sledgehammer to kill the ant. Take a sledgehammer. You don't let him get back up. And that's how I felt as a coach. And that's how I, drilling with Mike, that's how he played. He played that way. And that's why I thought he'd be a pretty good basketball coach. And he's still one of the few guys that I know that don't have a losing record. I do. One of them I put an asterisk on it because they didn't let me finish. That's the last season. They didn't let me finish, so I said, shit. I put an asterisk there. So I only had one losing season. Matter of fact, Mike won the game, but they didn't give me the credit. So else I would at least broke even. Just think, I got one game left. I'm one game short of 500, and I'm playing. Our last game of the season is going to be Nashville.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Vandy's coming here, and it's my last game. Well, I'm going to win that. Mike won that one. Then they could dismiss me because I knew that I couldn't get to the tournament because the 2 years before that, they thought I wasn't going to do anything. We won the damn thing. One of my teams that are not as good wins the tournament. So, I think about that, and I said, damn, we could have, who knows? I think if we had Sunday in that bunch, the year when they dismissed him, and we didn't get in this deal in 96, 97, where they investigated, they can't find nothing, but they investigated for 18 months. We were held hostage. I couldn't recruit. Then I couldn't bring in junior college players. Oh, they trying to, it's like, God almighty, you're winning too much. You shouldn't be this good. You're Arkansas. Yeah, how are you going to be this damn good? Had the #1 recruiting class in the country. Things were going good.
Those that have to go, they're starting the second half. We've got another question here from Bob.
So how do you think the court looks, and what do you think of Bill Clinton's message, and did you know he was going to speak? And how do you think your signature and everything?
I didn't know Bill was going to speak. They didn't tell me about that. That was a surprise. I think the world of Bill. He's a diehard Razorback in his heart, and at the same time, he loves the game, and I think he follows it well enough. He understands the game. But for him to come on and congratulate me, it just even made it that much sweeter. It was a beautiful day. The only sad part that I'm sad about is that my wife Rose can't get to enjoy what we have worked so hard for. She has not been to any of the. She was in the town of Springfield when I was inducted into the Hall of Fame, Naismith, and she was there, not so much in the building, but outside of it when I got inducted to the College Hall of Fame. And so she has been not feeling very well for a while, and for us to enjoy. I tell her, and the pictures in shore. But I think that's the part that I feel really sad about, that she didn't get to really see and feel. She just wouldn't be able to see it. So, other than that, having some of my grandkids and great grandkids to come over and share this with us is just absolutely great.
Take one more from Josh.
What was it like to see the slobbering hog back on the floor?
You look like your dad. And I ain't talking about a slobbering hog now. I'm just anyway. You tell your dad I said that because it make him proud. I thought that was really nice. That was another surprise. I had no clue about the slobbering hog being going to be there, and that's what I played under. So I'm a slobbering hog kind of guy. So anyway, that was another precious part of their surprise to me. I mean, it was, like I said, all around was it's just a beautiful afternoon.
All right, thank you all.
All right. All right, guys.
Congratulations.